Hey guys, Adam here. This is another video of actually a review, which I haven't done in a little bit of a while, and this is the iPhone 7 Plus in 2020. How does it hold up now? So, the iPhone 7 Plus was actually released back in 2016, and it was actually kind of controversial because, if you see here, there's no headphone jack. But it was the first iPhone to have dual lens cameras on the back. This let for portrait mode, which was actually pretty controversial because it wasn't that good at first, but with software updates, it's actually pretty good now. Yeah, it's also for better, photo taking because it's also a telephoto camera, yeah. We also got the upgrade of a 7 megapixel camera on the front, and the screen stayed the same. It was a screen of 401 pixels per inch, and it was a 1080p display, which is actually quite good in 2020. I'm actually really impressed with this display. It's really bright, as you can see, in pretty decent amount of light. It's actually going to brighter light. You can still see it's pretty good. Definitely not as good as newer iPhones, but still definitely acceptable. I believe it is 625 nits. So let's talk about some of the specs. Some of the specs on here, we have a A10 Fusion chip, which was actually really great because it helped battery life on on these newer iPhones, which is the 7 models. And also, we have 3 gigabytes of RAM instead of 2. This was the first phone with 3 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm going to tell you the performance. So, as many people requested, I'm showing you an Antutu benchmark score. And this is actually very impressive because this is actually higher than some of other 7 Pluses, actually. Let me show you right here. This is this 7 Plus right here. 7 Plus normally gets a score of 222,584. Sorry, I think there's some sort of glitch there. My iPhone 7 Plus got a score of 252,147. So very impressive. Actually, pretty close to the iPhone 8, as you can see. And comparing to the OnePlus 7 Pro, it's really not that. It's a pretty, leap ahead, pretty big leap ahead, as the OnePlus 7 Pro actually gets a score of around 400,000, or a little bit higher actually. I think it's like 410,000. So this is about a little bit more than half. So not too bad. And how does that perform? How does these 3 gigabytes and A10 Fusion chip perform in 2020? Well, I'll show you. So let's start up with opening some basic apps. So let's start with FaceTime. Okay, as you can see, loaded very quickly. Calendar, loaded very quickly. Photos, very quickly. Camera, loaded pretty quickly. Mail, very quick. Clock, quick. Maps, very quick. Weather, pretty quick. Notes, quick. Reminders, very nice. News. Oh, this is taking a little while. So this is a little bit more of a intensive task. Okay. As you can see. Stocks. Okay, it's loading a little bit. Still pretty quick. And iTunes Store, quick. App Store, still very impressive. Books, pretty okay. Health app, quick. Home app, quick. Wallet, pretty quick. And settings, very quick. So as you can see, the basic apps ran pretty well, and I'm going to be actually doing a couple more apps. Basic, there's the phone app and the messaging app. And now let's go to the more performing tasks. So I'm actually going to clear everything out because sometimes, if we have all the basic apps. I'm just going to be doing kind of a separate from the basic apps to the more performance based, apps. So this is now Safari. I was looking at the curfew. YouTube loaded pretty quickly ish. Let's see. The Apple Watch app, very quick. It's more of a basic. Apple TV app. I mean, a lot of people use the Apple TV app. Music, pretty quick. And we're eBay. Let's see how long eBay takes. Pretty quick still. I mean, I'm very impressed. YouTube we already did. Okay. Now, let's go to more games. Ball Blast. This is just, some simple 2D games. So, yeah. As you can see, performs very well. And, yeah, I'm very impressed. Let's load up Antutu Benchmark. Okay, battery life, Mercari, Video Shop's a pretty big one, Netflix, that took a while, yeah. So lastly, let's go to actually Call of Duty Mobile, because that's a really, really intensive game. So let's see how long this takes. Yeah, as you can see, it's not taking too long. Actually, that was as quick as my OnePlus 7 Pro, I would say. Okay, so that was pretty quick. Let's see, though. Okay, let's go to... Okay, so let's load up a game. Oh my god, Okay. Okay, so sorry about that. Let's head on to... I don't know why it's not focusing. Okay, there we go. Let's head on to multiplayer. Start. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's actually check the settings. Okay, so looking onto settings here, I'm just putting medium and high, but you know what, let's do very high and high. So, pretty high, frame rates and graphics. Let's look around here. You can see this is basically a smooth, I would say 40 to 50 FPS. Looks very good. Yeah, really, really great. You could see, not that bad. By the way, sorry for the bad camera angles on that Call of Duty. It was keep making me do all these steps. So, yeah. Anyway, let's check now how the audio is. And because the headphone jack was removed, that made basically better audio and also IP67 water resistance. So this does have water resistance. Let's load up one of my videos. Let's go to settings. What's going on, guys? It's Adam here. From here, and going up from here. I'm talking about the OnePlus 7 Pro. And as you can see, 2 months later, pretty good. How does it hold up now in 2020? Pretty good sound coming from both ends. I'm just gonna start with. So, guys, yeah. Thank you. Anyways, now let's go to the camera performance. So let's talk about those cameras. We first have a primary 12 megapixel lens, and we have a telephoto 12 megapixel lens. Now, this can actually record 4K at 30 FPS. But let's first take a photo in a good environment. So let's go to some good lighting. Sorry about that, I think there was some problems. Okay, so let's first take a look at a portrait photo, because I do want to show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is my cat. You can see it's blurring out a decent amount. Let's take a look here. Sorry for all the glare. I mean, this is an IPS panel, and so it's definitely not the best. But you could see how it does. And I took some photos with that. Okay, so now let's look at the photos that I took right now. And as you can see, looks pretty good. Good dynamic range, actually. Very good dynamic range. Looks pretty sharp. Doesn't look particularly good over here and up near there, but not terrible. The next photo, you can see, looks very good. There's another photo. Looks pretty good. And also these are live shots. And that was introduced, I believe, with the iPhone 6s. So this is a really good shot. I focused in on a plant. You can see there's some leaves and it blurs out the background. And here's a flower with portrait mode. As you can see, it does very well on how it does, as you can see. Very good. And no blurring really of the flower itself. So that's really good. So now we're taking a look at, I believe this is starting at 4K. So yeah. Okay, this is a video, 4K, 30 FPS, and seems pretty stable. And that is because I believe there is OIS. So, yeah. Okay, so now let's look at 1080p at 60 FPS. This is recording 1080p at 60 FPS. This is what I usually use. You can see, very smooth, pretty stable. Looks pretty good. Okay, now this is 30 FPS at 1080p. 1080p at 30 FPS, and you can see it's very, very stable. You can see, very good. Okay, and finally, this is 720p at 30 FPS. Okay, it's recording 720p at 30 FPS. Now this is the lowest possible quality you could do, so it doesn't look that great, but very stable. So clearly is using an extreme amount of OIS and I'm pretty sure EIS, because it is very, very stable for starting to walk. Still very, very stable. So, as you can see, those videos are actually pretty good. Once again, I'm sorry about the glare. It's definitely not, this IPS panel is definitely not the greatest. But, yeah, let's talk about battery life. And this is actually one of the strong points. Battery life isn't too terrible on here. You can get through the day pretty easily. I charged this, I believe, at 10 o'clock or maybe 9:30, and I've been using it a decent amount. It's at 63%, so not too bad. Not the best, but still not too bad. Anyways, guys, is the iPhone 7 Plus worth it? If you find a good deal, then yes, it is totally worth it, even in 2020. Okay, guys, see you later.